What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another update for you guys. Got a few things to talk about, and let's start off with Pogba, who's been making quotes about Ole and Jose Mourinho on Sky Sports. And what he said is that he, talking about Ole, wouldn't go against the players. This is just a small snippet, by the way. And he says Ole, wouldn't go against the players. It's not like it is when Jose just left them on the side like they didn't exist anymore. And that kind of ties into what Wayne Rooney was saying as well, how the players on the fringes or the players on the bench don't get told anything why they're on the bench or anything like that, why they're on periphery, and they get kind of ignored within the squad. And I think it kind of plays into the fact what Lloris was saying as well, in terms of the guys that are not playing are the ones kicking up the fuss and feel like they're, well, he didn't say that, but it felt like they felt they're underappreciated.
Yeah, he said that the guys who are on the bench need to step up and need to fight their way back into the team. And I think back in, it also ties into what Jose was saying, when he joined Spurs or when he was at Man United, saying, 23-year-olds were men when I was starting management and now they're brats. And I think that's kind of what kind of ties into that, because I think back when he started managing, I think he always talks about, even now, a lot about personal motivation and individual responsibility to the team to kind of have your own motivation for your own performance. And I think a lot of the times in modern day, like, players don't like the harsh realities of like being left out and having a performance that wasn't good enough and then being dropped from the team and stuff like that. I think back in the day, Mourinho used to drop players and they used to fight tooth and nail to get back in the team. And now he kind of drops players and maybe they get a bit disillusioned and they think, oh, it's bullshit. Like, why is he dropping me? I'm more than good enough to play and stuff like that. And you need to manage him in a different way than maybe he's doing right now. And that's one of the problems that we're seeing. I think when it comes to Pogba, first of all, I don't think he's improved that much since Ole left, since Jose left. I mean, look, he's having a good season. It was recently. It wasn't that long ago, though. Let's be honest. It wasn't that long ago. Raiola was making all those noises about him being unhappy and he wants to leave and he's sick of Man United and all that. It was really not long ago. A couple months ago, maybe it was. So all this stuff about Pogba being so happy under Ole and stuff like that, I don't buy it at all. It's just when things are going well, Pogba's happy. When things are not going well, then Pogba starts kicking up a fuss, and that's what we've seen the whole time. Yeah, he had a tense relationship with Mourinho. I'm sure it's a different relationship under Ole. I'm no doubt about that. But
he mentioned in that interview how his relationship with Jose was actually really good up until a certain point when it turned really sour.
Yeah, because I think Mourinho was very frustrated with his consistency, and that's why I think there's something Ole has been frustrated with as well at times. Like, Ole hasn't exactly picked him every game, has he? There's been lots of times where Ole's left him out, and I think
but Ole's probably explaining to him why he's out and stuff like that, better communicating it with him.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what Pogba's saying. And maybe it's true. Maybe that's something Jose needs to think about. But I think if you have a stronger mentality and you're, I think maybe you can deal with it a bit better. I think Mourinho said about Pogba that he wouldn't be surprised, for example, he said it just for the World Cup, he said he wouldn't be surprised if Pogba has a great World Cup because when it's a very intense like camp like that over a short period of time, he can really give that level of performance. But over a long season where it's week in, week out, he needs to do it, he struggles with that. And that's what I think we've seen with Pogba. And it's a bit weird him saying all this stuff about Mourinho. I feel anyway it's a bit strange at this time right now when Mourinho was manager there a few years ago, and I don't know why he's bringing it all up now.
Has this come off Pogba's back, or is this questions asked from the media?
Yeah, it's probably asked from. I'm not sure. Probably asked from the media.
I mean, I doubt Pogba's just come out on an interview, just started spouting about Mourinho. I'm pretty sure he's been.
Yeah, but it's just a bit weird that he's kind of said all this, airing out all this stuff about Mourinho now. But anyway, look, it is what it is. I don't begrudge him for it, and he has his opinions and he has his say. And I think he's probably a lot of merit to what he said, but I just think all these people saying this shows like a difference between how Mourinho's managing now and what Ole can do and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times with Pogba, he kind of just goes with the flow a lot.
Look, at the end of the day, I don't think it speaks volumes for how Ole compares to Jose as a manager, but I think it does speak volumes for the way Jose is in the modern game. And I think it shows how Jose needs to get with the times in terms of his man management. That's what I think it shows.
Yeah, potentially. But I do think if Mourinho had a squad of players who had that individual responsibility and that individual motivation, it wouldn't be such a problem. But I think in this day and age, yeah, you're right.
It's so difficult to get a squad of players, 25, 20 players, all to have that same mentality. You know what I mean? We're living in the modern age where you've got so many different types of mentalities. It's not like when Jose Mourinho was at his pomp with Inter Milan, you're going to have 20, 25 players all pulling towards, having that same attitude up there. It's not like that anymore. You've got very different kind of...
Players are more selfish
That's
now.
what I'm saying. You've got selfish players. You've got players which are very sensitive and fairy kind of mentality. You don't have the kind of, what Jose Mourinho was alluded to, having men on the pitch. 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds are not men these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the truth. And we do have a few of those players, I think, with Højbjerg,
You
Kane,
need a whole squad of them.
Lloris. You have players there, so they're still around. There are still players there you can
but
get.
You need a whole squad of them, otherwise it's going to be
No, you don't need a whole squad.
Divisive.
There's not a whole squad. You need a majority squad.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And I think right now we don't.
All right, let's move on. And this next one is from Estadio Deportivo. And they say Tottenham have joined the race to sign Barcelona right back Emerson, but face competition from PSG. He is valued at 21 million.
Emerson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know? Neither do I, to be fair.
Yeah, I know Dest. I know Dest is there right back.
I think in terms of Emerson, in terms of Barcelona right backs, I was calling for Semedo, but he's come in for Wolves and not done much.
Yeah.
So, I'm not too sure about this one.
I haven't been so happy about... I haven't been so impressed. Sorry, not happy. I haven't been so impressed with Semedo since he's gone to Wolves. I think he's underachieved and hasn't really pulled up any trees of what he's supposed to. But yeah, look, there's Emerson. Haven't seen much from him. I can't really comment on that. But if we get a right back in from Barcelona, happy days.
Let's move on. Fabrizio Romano, he's talking about Hugo Lloris, and he says Tottenham will wait until the end of the season to make that Hugo Lloris decision. What's your gut telling you about Hugo?
Yeah, I think...
I've got a feeling he's going to stay for next season.
I don't know. Yeah, I think at the moment, why would PSG sign him when they got Keylor Navas, who's doing really well? So I don't get that link, like that they'll be desperate to sign him unless they move on Keylor Navas on. I can't see that happening. So
an option is potentially Juventus.
I could see him seeing out his contract. Juventus, they got Szczesny. Are they unhappy with Szczesny? I know we don't like Szczesny, but he's been decent for them, hasn't he?
Has he?
Hasn't he?
Don't know.
I think he's been all right for them. So
I think Hugo Lloris is by far a better keeper than Wojciech Szczesny. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think he is too. But they've signed Szczesny for decent money, and I don't think he's anyone that they're looking to replace. I don't think so.
I think if a better option was to come around, they would.
What, an older keeper? He's a lot older than Szczesny.
With Juve, they like signing their old players, don't they?
They do. I don't know. I don't think anyone has any legs. I can see him staying. I can even see him hold it. I can even see him running down his contract.
There is no talks about him going to Juventus. I'm just saying off the top of my head, like that could be an option.
I don't see. I don't see them bidding off Szczesny for an older 34-year-old.
Szczesny's rubbish.
He's not rubbish.
Look, there's been some quotes from Hugo Lloris as well, which I found quite interesting. Let me talk just a few snippets of them. This one is, it has been 9 years. If I am still here, it is because I really care about the club. Those things against Zagreb affects me as a professional and they affect me as a person. We are not so far from the others in terms of quality, but it's just that sometimes we should be stronger as a team. And then he goes on to say there is a lot of expectation on Tottenham because of what we have done in the past few seasons. That is normal, but we are not giving up.
Yeah, and I think he's absolutely right. It's the team dynamic at the moment that's causing issues, and you can see even like in those clips I saw against Man United, like Aurier strolling around and stuff. You can't afford to do that at this level in the Premier League when you're fighting for the top end.
Happening all season, Sissoko's been big victim of that.
The clips we saw against Chelsea, they're just strolling. There's no intensity. There's no willing to put in those extra yards to fight for the ball and things like that. So it was extra inches that we're losing out on, and that's why we keep conceding so many late goals as well. It's a big part of it. So I think Hugo's 100% right, and whether Mourinho's the man to turn that around, looks very, very unlikely at this point. But I think he's spot on in terms of quality-wise, especially in the forward and midfield areas. We're really not far behind, if at all, the other teams. It's just the way we're playing the team dynamic.
It's all the mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got some rumours about Erik Lamela. Two of them, two different publications. The first one, Corriere dello Sport, and they say Erik Lamela is very close to returning to Italy. Both AC Milan and Napoli have held talks with the Argentines' representatives. And then Calcio Mercato goes on to say Erik Lamela believes his Tottenham Hotspur career is coming to an end. The player is keen to return to Italy and is willing to take a pay cut to secure the transfer, back to Italy with AC Milan, Napoli and Bologna all interested in him.
Yeah.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Completely. I think Lamela, and even with this season, more injuries have curtailed a lot of his season, despite the fact I think he's made a decent impact when he's been on the pitch. It just, unfortunately, there's only so long you keep putting up with it, and I think it's about time. I think, look, he was happier in Italy, even though he was quite happy here. I think his best football's played in Italy. I think he's still highly regarded there. He can get a good move, and I think with 1 year left on his contract, I think it's best just to go our separate ways at this point. And I don't have any ill will or any ill feeling towards him. I think he had a decent time here. And we signed him for a lot of money and we expected bigger things than maybe what he brought. But I still think he was a good player for us and he always gave 100% when he was on the pitch. So I think it is the time is right for him to leave and open up more space in the squad.
Let's move on. This one's from BT, and they say Tottenham are set to hold talks with the representatives of Lyon defender Joachim Andersen next week. He is represented by ICM Stella Sports, who also represent Gareth Bale.
Yeah, and I think he's a good player. I've liked him a lot at Fulham so far. I think he's really put in a really good season. The fact that he's captain there as well over such a short period of time when he's only on loan shows his leadership ability. So do I think he's the main centre-back we're looking for to revolutionise the defence? No. Do I think he's a good addition to the squad and could really help bolster the options we have there? Yeah, I really do.
If he comes in, is he the best centre-back in the squad?
Yeah, probably at the moment, just by default. So I would be happy with him to come, and I think he's Danish as well, so Højbjerg will know him well, and Højbjerg will be able to give a good indication of whether he's one to bring in or not. So I think Joachim Andersen has a lot of potential, but whether he's the one we're really looking for to revolutionise, I'm not so sure.
And then the last one I got here is from the Footy Insider, so take it with not a pinch of salt, but a massive handful of salt. And they say Joe Lewis has been lining up the sale of Tottenham Hotspur behind the scenes. The billionaire is actively looking to sell the club and has sanctioned brokers to find potential buyers or investors.
Yeah, we can hope. We can dream. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's true. Whatever. Look, I would love it if Joe Lewis can set up and maybe bring in more owners with more, ambition on the pitch, which I think is what this squad is lacking. But I think it's wishful thinking at this point, and I'm not so sure that that's going to be the case. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will sell up sooner than we think, but I think it's going to be a while before that happens, in my opinion.
All right. So that is all I've got. You wanted to speak about the new sponsor as well, completely.
The Dulux. I think it was a big story. Kind of. Getting Spurs announcing...
These things only happen to Tottenham.
Honestly. Spurs announcing a partnership with a paint provider, Dulux. And
straight away they're terrorising us
literally
on
within
social
minutes we're getting mugged off by our new sponsor, our new paint supplier. I mean, only Tottenham could that happen. I don't know who's running the social media account. Apparently he's I think he's been fired or something, but
full investigation was impending, apparently.
Exactly. Well, first of all, let's talk about the tweet they sent, because someone commented on the picture of the dog, the Dulux dog, which was came to visit Tottenham Hotspur, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and someone commented under, just a Spurs fan commented, can he play centre back? And Dulux responded, he could probably do a better job than what you have at the moment, Chris.
How dumb can people be?
And then, which is disrespectful to I know there's one thing for a fan to, but for a sponsor who's part of the club to say that is pretty disrespectful. And then the Dulux bantering Tottenham's trophy cabinet as well. They posted a picture about Tottenham's empty trophy cabinet and about how that could need a revamp or something. And look, at the end of the day, they were just trying to be a bit banterous, and I understand it, but I think they missed the mark on what they were doing, and I think they didn't quite strike the right tone. I think people were angry. I think anyone getting angry about it is a bit over the top, very over the top, even, I would say, because nothing to get angered about, but just it's a bit stupid for them to be doing those kind of tweets just minutes after the sponsorship was announced. And then they did put out a statement, Dulux, saying, we're deeply sorry for the posts from the Dulux this morning in response to the announcement of our relationship with Spurs. They do not reflect how proud we are to be official paint suppliers of the club. We're investigating what happened and apologise to all Spurs fans. And in response to that, Spurs actually tweeted, in what was a parody of the Doherty
Which
video.
was a joke, and it was cringy in itself.
I didn't. I thought it was quite funny. The Doherty
you?
video. Yeah, I thought it was
Nah,
quite
not for
funny.
me.
And then they had basically a picture of Doherty do that famous pose with the dog superimposed on his face, basically, with him deleting the Dulux tweets. So
I hated that.
Is,
I hated that Doherty video.
Why?
I hated it. I thought it was so cringy.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was just a bit of banter. I thought it was very light-hearted. I thought it was a good way to deal with the situation.
I just thought it was so cringy, man.
Why?
And it was a bit. I don't know. I think everything coming out of the only thing that I liked that have come out of Tottenham so far is the Gareth Bale and the Gareth Bale and Reguilon intro video. I think that's been brilliant. I think that the recent thing that they did on social media with those players acting. I can't remember what it was about. That was super cringy. I thought
the players acting. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I remember you listening to what I was watching, and you were like, "Oh, that's so cringy."
Oh, that thing. I didn't actually watch it. I heard it, and it sounded really cringy.
That was really cringy, and I think that Doherty video as well was just like...
I thought the Doherty video was funny, personally. I didn't think that was cringy. But let us know in the comments below. Was it cringy or funny?
I didn't like it.
I thought it was funny. But I think you just don't like the signing, I think.
Huh?
I just don't think you like the signing.
At the time, I liked the signing, and at the time, I hated the video.
I don't remember you saying that at the time.
I didn't say it.
Oh, okay. I see. Revisionism. All right. Well, let us know in the comments section below what you thought of today's stories. And yeah, so we have.
All right, so that is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the matters we spoke about today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.